This is basically a sketch I did before realizing I had got a high score via achievement on one of the characters that you selected as winning something that you collect tokens by, or generally to get like 2 days to unlock something, and it's like 250 tokens or 500 tokens depending on what kind of like they have during the thing, instead of having to buy the characters for reasonable like $4. But I didn't put any money into it, and I don't have my desktop, it's in rest mode, and for whatever reason I have to use the phone's camera, so the quality is not as great as like before. It would be better in terms of just having to edit. Like if you can split a film like on the PlayStation, you can do it on the camera as well. And I learned how to do that. But there's something that I had just basically draw this, and proves I draw this because it's the O, the R, the T, the E, the G, the A. It spells out Ortega. And it's just something that, for whatever reason, I just basically wanted to draw it to see if I could sketch something with letters and scenery incorporated with the character. Normally I don't draw backgrounds, or it's just harder to draw other stuff with the characters. But back when I was with Evan at his dad's house, I was able to draw all sorts of characters and things and stuff, but didn't realize that the proportions were off back then, because I was just playing around with it. Wouldn't take it seriously back in 2010. And I had some stuff via the computer that I did that I was able to edit via an MP3 player that looked like a cell phone, but it no longer. It had broke when I had spilt water on it, but I was able to film that in my old house that I was talking about, a vacuum cleaner back then, and I had lost a ton of weight. Now that I am diabetic, that it took weight off me. I lost like at least a good 100 pounds to where I look thin again. But it's something that I didn't ever think that I would get skinny or skinnier than what I was back in 2011 and 12. I was pretty much paper thin back then. And then in 2015, something happened to me afterwards that I just basically started gaining weight, because I would basically, I just gave up on exercising and all sort of the stuff that I was enjoying, I didn't enjoy anymore. And it's just something that I really did break a world score on the Sonic Dash, and just had something that this, I don't know, this is something that I was able to do. On the other phone I had, it wasn't as capable, so I just basically didn't download any video games or apps for it, because it wasn't really just something that I had, just consoles and stuff that I played games on. And I just had YouTube because it's like a hobby. Like I didn't never think it would get almost like 8,000 views via the about thing shows how many times it's been hit. But then somebody had told me that it actually gotten hit more times than what it's going off on, and I learned that, and I didn't know if I should keep it because Andrew had told me to delete it. But then I just kept it, and I just had video game footage most now, just because I'm pretty much shy about my face and what I look like, and my appearance changes. Like I gain and lose weight pretty much faster than a normal person would, and that's because of genetics and stuff that you eat and just exercise and stuff, and it eventually just comes off. But I just hope that I could manage it, and I just sketch stuff and things, and I just that was a hand. I was gonna draw Darth Vader, but then the helmet would look like generic if I draw it from the back, and it had to be more detailed. Like you had to see the different formations of the helmet and how it's like circular and then triangular with the bottom part. and the hand was something that they see if I can actually draw a hand, and I did it before and proved I drawed it because I took a photo with the wooden hand. And even though I don't have it on YouTube because I don't have the ability to post photos yet, but I just know that on my Facebook I was able to show off that I was able to sketch a hand, and I did before, but not as realistic as this. This is something that I can detail it, and it's the sort of unique type of stuff that before I would cut out images to make one big image, but now I was able to draw from just basically not cut out and sort of just have piece by piece, but I could able to actually make scenery and stuff. And it wasn't something that it was just a fluke, but it was something that I knew what I was doing because I was able to sketch off memory and off just basically stuff that I had basically seen in the game, and then basically from there sketch it